Now get me out of here before more bullymongs arrive.
One thing maybe I should...
I don't hear bullymongs anymore. Kinda just waiting on you to get me out of here. But please.
Yeah, they tell you over and over again. So I have a lot of badass ranks, and there are objectives. So there's challenges, and as you complete the challenges, you get badass points, and then you convert badass ranks to bonus stats. So because I've played through this game quite a few times, well, maybe like 2-3 times, I have a lot of extra stats. So for example, gun damage, we do 16% more gun damage than you would if you were just starting out. So if this game seems slightly easier for me than for someone who's playing this for the first time, this is part of the reason why. Capacity, recharge rate. I don't think recharge rate is that important. Melee damage. I'm putting in stats for my other character. So not for this character, but for my other character.
No, you're not getting me out of here. Maybe you're thinking, many thanks, friend of friends. Onward!
So my main is a siren.
Here, president of Hyperion. Let me explain how things work here. The Vault Hunters show up, Vault Hunter looks for the new vault, Vault Hunter gets killed by me. You see the problem here? You're still alive. So if you could just do me a favor and off yourself, that'd be great. Thanks, Pumpkin.
Alright, that's Handsome Jack, the bad guy.
And open!
The characters, I think, are really well written too. Like Handsome Jack especially. Handsome Jack is a well written character. Like he's an asshole.
Oh, my eye just switched back on! I see a tough looking minion and an incredibly handsome robot, which means that whoever has my eye is very close.
Alright, boss time. Let me just dodge his thing. Oh, real? I feel like I should focus on the boss. Alright, he's dead. You just leveled up! Leveling up permanently increases the amount of health you have and the amount of damage you deal. It almost also immediately gives you full health and shields, alright. Let me cut these guys up a little bit. We don't have a shield yet.
Woohoo! If you would, retrieve my eye for me. Oh, and I apologize for saying wall sphincters. I say that a lot when I'm frightened. Got my eye? Great! Now we just gotta find someone to put it back into me. Much as I'm sure you'd like to jam your fist into my skull, optic surgery is best left to professionals. My pal Hammerlock in Liarsburg can fix me up. Allons-y.
Alright. Alright, we can switch weapons. Also, you'll notice that we picked up our second weapon. Although, because we got DLC, so we had 2 weapons. So this is the... If you didn't have DLC, these are your first 2 weapons. Revolver, magazine size 7, damage... I mean, it's got a slower fire rate, 15.3. It's got 7 bullets though. I don't know if I should switch my guns up yet. But as you can see, the gun already does more damage than your starting weapon. So the DLC gives you starting weapons, but you just throw that away very quickly.
Liarsburg's on the other side of this Hyperion barge. Let's say we cut through it, chum.
Hyperion barge.
Ha! This door's Hyperion tech. Child's play. And open!
Intruders detected. Locking door.
Well, it was nice knowing you. I hear getting eaten alive by bullymongs isn't such a bad way to go.
Let me get that for you. Executing phase shift. You're welcome. Perks of being an artificial intelligence. I'm networked into almost everything on this planet. It's a long way to Sanctuary. Please take whatever you need for the journey ahead.
Well, they're telling you a lot of stuff there. It's a Hyperion barge, so...
I am in this location!
So... They're telling you that Hyperion technology looks like this, and everything has a certain art style, right? So... Like, different factions, different groups have different construction styles, and so this is Hyperion. You notice that Claptrap has the same style as this, the yellow, the white. So Claptrap is also Hyperion. Oh, I mean he was built by Hyperion. Claptrap tries to open doors, it doesn't always work, they tell you that. And they also tell you that the woman, they tell you that she is an artificial intelligence and that she opens doors, or she hacks into devices. We don't want a shotgun.
Let me
We
know
don't.
when you're ready to go meet with Sir Hammerlock, minion.
And finishing our first quest. Alright, so I don't want to use shotguns. I don't know if I should show you this stuff. Shotguns are obviously a lot of damage, but only if it's short range. So if you can... Oh, can you see the bullet holes? You can see the spread of the bullets there. So this thing is really only good if you're like this close to the enemy. Which I don't plan to be close to the enemy. This one, sustained fire increases accuracy. So Hyperion guns, they have reverse recoil, so they get more accurate as you hold down the trigger. Unfortunately, like it starts off with so little accuracy that you waste a lot of bullets before you start hitting anything. So that's oh, it's just a normal pistol. Oh, it's a Dow pistol. So Dow weapons... Oh man, this is there's a lot of stuff, isn't it? Burst fire while zoomed. I guess it tells you. So all the guns have different mechanics to them. Fire as fast as you can pull the trigger. So this one... There's no semi-auto... There's no auto fire. Right, so if I hold down the trigger, it only fires one bullet. But you can fire as fast as you can click, is the Jacobs. So the different guns have different brands, which kind of tells you what they do. Anyway, I'm going to go back to that because I don't really like any of these. Maybe the burst fire pistol. Anyway, let's continue onwards. Let me recover some ammo if I can. Head to Leisberg. Alright, so this is the tutorial done, and the southern shelf is really the first part of the game.
I am in this location!
Yes, you are. And I guess at this point, I think I should start talking
Keep
about...
your wits about you, minion. This glacier's run by a bandit named Captain Flint. The jerk kept me as his torture plaything for a few months. We played games like Dodge the Blowtorch and Don't Get Dunked into the Pool of Acid. I was really good at the first one.
Alright, so they tell you about
Attention,
Captain Flint.
people of Pandora, Handsome Jack here, offering $1 million to whoever brings me the head of the Vault Hunter who just arrived in Liarsburg. Oh, and I'm still offering a reward for Roland, the mass murdering leader of the Crimson Raiders. Good hunting, bandits!
Alright, so they give the bandits motivation for trying to kill you, so now you are enemies with all the bandits, which is what the game's trying to tell you. Also, look at this vista. Look at this vista. You come out of the tutorial and you start off at the top of the cliff and you see this whole area spread out before you. Isn't that amazing? Also, spoilers, but that's gonna be, well, that's kind of our objective. It's not really our objective. Our objective is actually back there. We can't see it yet. But later on, the exit to the next area is actually going to be there. But more about that later on. So the world building in this game, or the backstory to Pandora. Pandora is a resource-rich border world that a few years ago, I think, according to the story, a few years ago, the humans came to start to colonize it and to exploit the rich resources. And what they didn't realize at the time was that it was the Pandoran winter, and all the and everything was hibernating. And so, soon after the humans arrived, or soon after the first humans arrived and started building the cities here, the climate started to warm up, and all the monsters came out of the ground. And the sea level also fell dramatically. And so in a lot of places you see like things, like you see like coastlines that aren't supposed to be there. And so just keep that in mind as we go forward. So the sea level dropped dramatically. The climate warmed, all the monsters came out of the ground, and a lot of the humans then abandoned the planet because it was too hostile. And so the people who left behind are like bandits and murderers and crazy people, and like soldiers who are tough enough to stay here and in the hostile environment, and of course the local animals and plant life who are extremely dangerous. And as we walk around the game, you will see that this kind of backstory is consistent in a lot of the. Actually, I want to say in all of the levels, but I'm not actually sure. But it's generally consistent throughout the game that, like, the old human settlements will be on the high ground, and then the low ground would be just kind of open deserts or just kind of open empty areas that used to be under the ocean, but now has been revealed because the sea level has lowered. And so you have like settlements on the high ground and then big open arenas on the low ground a lot of the time. And then that's basically the arrangement of, I mean, it's the backstory combined with level design, combined with gameplay design, because then you have like open arenas for combat with the wildlife, and then you have like cities where you fight humans and soldiers and whatnot. So like everything is just kind of tied in really well, in my opinion. Anyway, we're gonna go down there, and that there is a human settlement. You can see there's buildings and houses there, and then there's like a bridge, for example, and then a lower ground, and that also on the other side is lower. And so you might imagine that when the sea level was higher, this town might have been by the ocean, whereas now the ocean is back there, and then there's newer buildings on down there. But say these buildings are stone, for example, whereas that building I think is just a shack with corrugated metal sides, I think. So then you can see like the more permanent structures are on the high ground now, like on top of the cliffs and top of the hills. And then on the low ground is the newer structures that are less permanent. And so you know, like everything just is consistent. And I really respect the consistency in the game design, in the level design. Let me snipe some of these guys since we have a sniper rifle. Oh, that doesn't kill. Okay, that's a problem.
$1 million bucks? All right, boys, this is Captain Flint. I want you to find that Vault Hunter and bring him to me now!
Well, there's Captain Flint, so they're gonna introduce the boss of this area, who is Captain Flint. Let me just snipe these guys through the gate, because that's easier than fighting them up close. Alright. Oh wait, there's more. Crap. No, don't open the gate. Don't open the gate. Never mind, open the gate. No. Okay, he's gonna open the gate.
spectacular! First Captain Flint's bandits attack, then Claptrap shows up. I must have been horrifyingly cruel to puppies in a previous life to deserve this kind of treatment. I say, Vault Hunter, could you kill Flint's men for me?
Alright, well I'm trying to cheese this thing out by sniping people through the gate before they come over.
Got a proposition for you, Vault Hunter. You give up, we'll just shoot you in the head. It'll be quick, clean, and a hell of a lot less painful than what Handsome Jack will do to you. What is wrong with you boys? Just kill that slagleg so we can get our reward.
Also, they introduced Hammerlock, who's yet another character. Although he's a friendly character, right? So, a whole lot of radio broadcasts. Introducing characters, introducing places, motivations. It's just great storytelling. Probably should use the sniper at this range. I think the game really expects you to like run in and fight them up close. Or like a lot of the guns are designed that way. Although the kind of player I am, I actually prefer long range.
This ain't over, Grinder!
Hey, Hammerlock! Since my minion just saved your town, you want to do your bestie Claptrap a favor and repair my eye?
Yes, I suppose I am in your debt now, aren't I? Come to my shack and I shall restore Claptrap's sight. First, I shall shut off the electrical fence for you. Please stay back, Vault Hunter. Let Claptrap go first.
I knew Hammerlock would come around eventually. Me and him are like two peas in a pod. 2 bullets in a bag. 2 cannibal midgets in a fat guy's ribcage.
Cannibal
Apologies,
midgets.
But when Claptrap speaks, I feel my brain cells committing suicide one by one. I shall be out directly.
A pleasure to meet you, Vault Hunter. I am Sir Hammerlock. At your service. I came out here to research the bully moles for my almanac, but Captain Flint's men trapped me on this glacier. Many thanks for disposing of them, by the way. To survive a direct run-in with Handsome Jack and defeat Captain Flint's bandits, unheard of. I'm headed to Sanctuary myself. From what I hear, the Crimson Raiders there could use a hero like you. Now, if you could hand me the robot's eye, please.
Alright, again they're telling you to go to the Crimson Raiders. And you'll notice that these two characters, your first two friendly characters, they're complete opposites. One is a clumsy idiot. The other one is a scholar and intellectual, and he speaks rather fluently. And I guess the thing they're doing here is, if you hate one, you're likely to like the other, right? Because they're opposites. So here's two characters. Here's two friends. Like if you really can't stand Claptrap, well maybe you like Sir Hammerlock. Or if you really don't like Sir Hammerlock, well maybe you think Claptrap's slapstick is pretty funny. So again, like just really clever kind of just giving you two opposite characters so that you're at least gonna like one of them. Isn't that great? Great design. I mean, if you imagine like every character is the same guy, then if you hate one, you hate all of them. That's bad storytelling, right? That's bad game design because you have people who just don't like what's going on. But like a lot of the characters in this game are very different from each other.
Now, you only connect this to this, and... that should do it!
Ha-ha! I am alive!
Oh dear, he's talking again.
Minion! Now I've got my eyesight back! And you're far uglier than I remembered. Time to join up with the Crimson Raiders in Sanctuary. This glacier's full of nothing but murderers or jerkbags, like that Hammerlock dude.
I'm standing right here, dude. Now that Liarsburg is cleared, I might as well turn on the main power. This town's full of things that may be of use to a go-getting slayer of men like yourself.
Minion, roll out!
A go-getting
I see our
slayer of
fearless
men.
leader Jack is looking for you. Charming fellow, isn't he? Spouts drivel about bringing peace to the frontier, then shoots unarmed men, women, and children like it was going out of style. Ah, I'm spouting exposition again, aren't I? Apologies.
So he's telling you more about Jack.
Ah. Wow. Come on, work, curse you! Ah, fecal matter. The bounty board's broken. The Resistance must have disconnected it before they left for Sanctuary. I'd planned to post some jobs for you. Ah well, just speak to me instead.